What up, what up, what up? It is a Wednesday night on a Tuesday, so we made a change a little bit of date, but we are live and we are ready to talk some sports, man. It's your favorite show, Views from the Stands. I'm your host, Stevie B, Steve Brennan, and I got my guy with me, the GM, Mr. G Mike, in the building, man. And we have a fun-packed show for you today. How are you feeling tonight, my man?
Feeling good, living better, baby, making his money. Even though the Cavs
there we go, man. All right, my man, we got the second round of the playoffs there in full court press, and we will give you our takes on all of those, man. We have a major news coming out of the NFL and a big trade, and a big news coming out of Baltimore. Some major stuff going on over there, and we have a few. We're going to try things a little bit different for you guys tonight. We're going to have a few fun-filled down bad debates. We'd love to get your feedback on these ones. We got everything from basketball to football, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get into all that good stuff, man, Mr. G Mike, why don't you let the good people know what you have going on, my man?
Yes, sir. Guys, if you like sports gambling, I run a Telegram channel where we try to give everybody a few winnings each and every day. $5 to $10 to $50 to $100 of winnings, of $10 a month that you're paying, and some good advice, some good consulting. You'll see the link pop up on the chat. If you're watching the live episode, if you're watching the recorded episode, you'll see the link pop up on your screen, or my socials will pop up. Just slide in my DM, and we'll start a conversation to get you going.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. We all love a little bit of extra cashola in the pocket, man. All right, man. Well, we also have a few different people we wanted to shout out. Fresh off of last week's episode, if you didn't get a chance to see it, go ahead and check that out. But we are now officially on iHeartRadio, man. So you can find us on there on demand, Views from the Stands, man. So that's a big news for us. And you can find that pretty much anywhere you go. We are worldwide now. We can officially say that, which is always pretty damn cool. But they're not the only ones that's been riding with us, man. We got Varsity Sports Nation. Varsity Sports Nation is your premier sports app, man. You want high school sports, they got you. You want college sports, you know they got you. You want content like you're watching right now, they got you. The best part about it is it's on a convenient app that you can download on your iOS, your Android, your Roku TV, your Apple TV, your Fire TV, as well as your social medias. You can also find our show and many others on demand. So check out Varsity Sports Nation. Give them a like and subscribe. Great company that we've been working with. We also have one more company we want to give a shout out to as well is Millions.co, man. Millions is a great way to get involved in watching a lot of fighting and a lot of different sports. You can request interviews with some of your favorite athletes. If they're able to comply, man, they'll get on there with you, man. You can also watch our stuff on demand, so please give them a like, subscribe. Give us a like and subscribe. And we really appreciate all the love and support we've been getting. Everybody's been passing everything along, and so please continue that. There's been a lot of chatter on the socials, and so just the movement's getting better, and we really appreciate it. We can't be anywhere without you guys, so we really, honestly, really appreciate everything you guys have done for us. So, Mr. G Mike, I don't know about you, my man, but we got some sports to get into, and we got some news out of your team, man. Anything major happen for you guys you know of?
Yes, sir. We finally did a damn trade. Shout out to Terry Jones, man, because he finally woke up. Golly, man.
And if you don't know, now you know, man. The Dallas Cowboys finally made a move that I think a lot of Cowboys fans are actually okay with for once. The Dallas Cowboys are receiving wide receiver George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers. The deal is just fresh off the press, probably about 6-7 hours ago, so they're working out the kinks, but for the most part of it, it is a third-round pick from the Dallas Cowboys going to the Steelers, as well as a couple late-round exchanges. Mr. G. Mike, you are a Cowboys fan. You are a diehard. How do you feel about this trade, man?
I love the trade, man. I mean, there's been rumors all season that we were trying to get another receiver. I thought it was going to be in the draft to trying to get McKellen out of Arizona, but he got picked up by the Carolina Panthers, so that was a little low blow right there. There was rumors that we were trying to get back with Amari Cooper and get that marriage going up at him again. But we ended up getting a good trade. We didn't give up that much for this, and you know, George Pickens, he's up and coming. He's young. He's hungry. He wants to win. You could tell out there on the field, he'll fight for every single inch, every single target that is thrown at him. He's trying to catch the ball every single way, either deep, slant, curl, route. It doesn't even matter. This guy is trying to get the ball. Yeah, he's not gonna have a lot of targets because he has CeeDee Lamb on the other side. I see CeeDee Lamb probably getting 10 to 12 targets a game. So maybe George Pickens will get anywhere from 5 to 8 because you still got Jake Ferguson out there as well. But for the team itself, it completes our offense that much more. Now we just need a little bit more on the defensive side, more so on the secondary, in my opinion. But good trade here. We needed another wide receiver, and George Pickens is that guy.
Yeah, no, I agree with pretty much everything you were saying in there. I think it's a great trade for the Cowboys, which is kind of a weird thing because you haven't really said that about the Cowboys in the last few decades or so, somewhere in there that they're making a great move over here. But I really do like the move, and I think you nailed it on the head that this move really came about because of the Carolina Panthers selecting McMillan instead of having him fall, because I think that was the plan all along, is that's what they're going to get. They wanted a number 2. But the cool thing I think what the Cowboys did is they might have had this in the back pocket, which is why they might not have stressed about this as much in the draft, not drafting any kind of major wide receiver. But they also, I think, had a pretty good draft. The draft was a couple weeks ago, if you remember right. They showed up the defense, and they got offensive linemen and some guards, which is positions that they need to keep Dak Prescott off his back. And let's face it, man, I think this is the best duo Dak Prescott's had since Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. I think this is still going to be a great tandem. And there's still nothing saying that you can't get Amari Cooper at a discounted rate and have a great 1-2-3 punch. Cooper being obviously your third.
Please.
I think that's still possible. And you still got Tolbert coming into his own. I think that the Cowboys offense can be something really special. It's going to be interesting to see what their running back game is going to be. And that's kind of something that surprised me. We did talk about that a couple weeks ago. I would have thought they would have maybe tried to get something else in this running back class. But looking back on it, maybe they knew this all along and that they already had this deal going, and that's why they didn't really stress about getting that. But I would think that's going to be their downfall, is going to be the running back position as far as the offense goes. I think the wide receiver is going to be much more improved. Dak Prescott is going to have a lot of options, and I think the moves that they made in the draft by helping shore up that line is definitely going to secure them a lot more wins in a very, very competitive division.
I do agree with you. I don't like the running back situation for sure, right? But I understand why we signed Miles Sanders, Javonte Williams, and we drafted a buddy out of Texas.
Blue.
Broom?
I think it's Jaden Blue, right?
Yeah, right. Thank you. I understand why we signed those players and we drafted him, right? Because Javonte Williams can be the powerful back on 3rd and 3, try to get some yards, try to get the first down, or if not, if you're in the red zone and you're on a 2nd and 1 or a 2nd and 2, just give him the ball and see what he can do, try to get him in the end zone. When it comes to Miles Sanders, he's more of a speedy back, more flexible. He can have a little bit of agility, but they're not superstar backs. They're not Pro Bowl backs either, right? But they have the ability to become a Pro Bowl back. It just all depends on how much work they put in, how good the offensive line is going to be, how good Dak Prescott is going to be when it comes to throwing the ball. Because if you could throw the ball well, then you can run some run plays, and then you could go to the play action. So, again, I do agree with you. I don't like the running back room, but I understood the signings that we got.
Yeah, no, exactly. And what's interesting too is Javonte Williams. He was a stud coming out of college, but had some really, really bad injuries that kind of delayed things. Last year, they rushed him back very quickly. Most people, I think I had him in fantasy. I don't even know why I did, but I had him in fantasy football, and it did not work out, needless to say. But I think that was a lot to do with rushing him back. I don't think he was ready to come back. And some of the injuries that he's had, some of these guys, it just takes a little bit more time. So maybe with a good offensive line, and him not having to be the only back there, Miles Sanders, if he can be the pass catching back, let Javonte Williams dance a little bit and being the power back, it might work out to be a decent duo. And we'll see what the rookie Blue can do. It's not saying that there's still not some guys out there that can maybe be had as well. There's been a lot of rumors around Breece Hall, not necessarily going to the Cowboys, but he's been an available option according to the Jets. So there's still some options going on. There's still a lot of time left in the offseason, training camps and such, and things can happen. So I think the running back room can definitely get a little bit better in Dallas, though. But I think this is a great move for the Cowboys, though. So are you liking this, and especially in that division, man?
Yeah, no, definitely. I do like the trade. Again, I think we still need like 1 or 2 more pieces when it comes to the defensive side, especially the secondary. But I think for our offense, I think it gives us a good, complete offense going into the 2025 regular season.
Yeah, well, as we speak right now, we are live, and so is the NBA playoffs right now, and there's about 2:43 to go in the fourth quarter, and New York is starting to make that little bit of comeback, man.
Oh
It's
no, not again.
it's 80, I believe it's 86, 86, 83, 86, 81. Sorry, they just went to commercial, so I couldn't get a chance to see it, but they're starting to creep up again, and we'll be getting into that again. So I'm sure the Celtics fans are getting a little bit nervous that this is at home, and it's a little bit of deja vu coming up here. But anyways, we'll jump into the playoffs here in a little bit.
Sheesh.
We'll jump into the playoffs here in a little bit for sure, man. All right, so there are the major news coming out of the NFL that today, or actually happened yesterday, was the Baltimore Ravens have released their star as of many years, kicker Justin Tucker. Man, Justin Tucker has been one of the greatest kickers, if not the greatest kicker of all time. His career percentage of field goals is 89.1%. The guy was cash money. Bank is open any kind of time for him. And then he just last season hit a major downfall and really started to look, even the season before that, started to look like it was maybe going away a little bit. And then all of a sudden, all the speculations come out, sexual misconduct, and a lot of stuff that, you know, you hate to hear, and you wonder what the hell these athletes are thinking sometimes, getting themselves involved in some of these things. It's not on us to judge or say what happened or not, because that's still waiting in the process. Nothing's been set in stone, but there's been a lot of accusations, and the Ravens has decided, in their words, made a football decisions, as I'm using air quotes very loudly here, a football decision to release Justin Tucker after he's been with them since the 2012 season, man. It's been a long time for Justin Tucker, and he's been one of the absolute best kickers of all time. G-Mike, man, what's your thoughts on this one, man?
Dude, bro, man, I feel like he knew these allegations were coming to him last season and the season prior, because the way that he started downfalling was just like, bro, it looked like a crypto coin when it hits its peak, and then out of nowhere they're like, yeah, this is not gonna go the way it wants, and then it just deplenishes and it goes and it disappears. And that's exactly what Justin Tucker did this past season and the season before that, man. He wasn't the same kicker, and I feel like he knew that these allegations were coming. He knew what he was doing, and you know, it's all allegations right now at this point. You know, we would want to believe that it is not true and that he's not this type of person, but you know, you can't put it past anybody. And if he did do these things, if it does come out that he was on the negative side of all what they're saying, then man, you know, the Ravens got to protect themselves. He's got to move forward, you know, like he's got to have to evaluate his life and his lifestyle and the choices that he's been making. But sucks to see a great career for a kicker go down like this when he probably still had like 5-6 more years left in it. So, you know, it's sad to see. It sucks, but
it just flat seemed like it was like a mental thing, and like you were kind of saying, maybe the writing was on the wall behind the scenes, and it just was the dark was about to come to light, and because Justin Tucker was, I think, right behind either Adam Vinatieri as like the most clutch kicker ever. Like this guy was kicking from like 60, 70 yards, and it just seemed like it was effortlessly for this guy. He was also, I didn't realize it as well, he was undrafted. And so, I mean, you know, that's a fair debate there. Could he go down as one of the greatest undrafted players in NFL history? Forget the negativity. The guy was clutch as hell, man. I mean, hell, I know he was one of the few players. I know we were just talking about fantasy a little bit ago, because fantasy is reality sometimes, I feel like, you know, because we take it so damn serious. But you could draft Justin Tucker before you drafted some wide receivers towards the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, your bench, it's okay, I got Tucker. I'm getting at least 15, 20 points for him or something, you know? Like, it was amazing what this guy's career was. He had that whole stories about him being an opera singer in the shower. It just seemed like just a great, overall fun guy. And you know, I just hate to see this fall from grace from a player that was so vital to the Ravens, man. He was a weapon. He was an offensive weapon for him, flat out.
Yeah, man. It sucks to see his career go down like this, man. But, dude, you know, if it comes out to be true, we can't feel sorry for him. Feel sorry for him.
Yeah. We'll hold the judgment until that actually does come around. But it just sucks that, you know, you have to deal with this sometimes, you know, and you just have to wonder who the hell these people have around him sometimes. that it's not in their ear and be like, hey, that is not a smart move, or don't do that, or what the hell are you doing, man? You know, like, yeah, you're one of the few elite athletes in the world that actually can say you can put on an NFL uniform and you go and do boneheaded things on the side. And for what, man? It's not worth it, man.
One percenters.
Seriously, man, it makes no damn sense, man. All right, well, that's going to be kind of like the major news that we had going on during the week. We have obviously some Steph Curry news, but we'll get to that when we cover the playoffs. So we're going to switch up the order a little bit here for you. We're going to go ahead and jump into, we got 3 debates tonight we're going to jump into. The first one, since we've been talking the NFL, we're going to keep it NFL first. And we're going to go ahead and have this wild debate here. We've been kind of scouring the internet a little bit. That's why we started calling the DownBad Debates. We've been scouting the internet to see what everybody's talking about out there. And so this was an interesting post we found out there, and we want to give it to light and see what you guys thought about it as well. The quote was, true or false, Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels has had the best rookie season in the history of any sport. Mr. G, Mike, that is a bold statement there, and how do you feel about that?
That is a bold statement, man. Honestly, a very, very bold statement. But when you think back to the rookies that have done it, right? Not even just the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, all team sports in the nation, really. Because internationally, you know, there's not a lot of us that know what's going on internationally in soccer or cricket or tennis, whatever the case is. So we'll stick with the major sports here in the nation. But you think back to what Jordan did in his rookie year and what he was crunching up numbers and he was killing the league, but he didn't make it to the playoffs. Or if he did, I think he didn't make it out of the first round. I don't really remember right there, right? You look at LeBron. LeBron came out and he was already noted the king. You're already the chosen one. And he had great numbers, but Cleveland didn't make the playoffs the first year. And then you look at Cam Newton. Great quarterback, you know, in the league where Jaden Daniels is. He did a lot for the Carolina Panthers. He had, I think it was 2 games were over 4,000 yards thrown, or no, I'm sorry, not 4,000 yards thrown. It was 400 yards thrown, and were like 4 TDs, but he didn't get the Carolina Panthers to the playoffs. So just going off of those and going to what Jaden Daniels did, taking his team to the NFC Championship as a rookie. That is a lot to say. So this statement right here, it's not. I don't really know if we can go true or false, because I think it's more subjective than anything. I don't think you could say, oh, that's true or false. But if someone would tell me, yo, he had the best rookie season in any sport, I think it's hard for me to disagree, man. So I would say I would agree there.
Yeah, it's such a tough statement because you know, football is one sport, and then you got all kinds of different sports, you know, and that you can go in there. So it is a kind of a tough statement, but it is a fun debate. You know, a lot of people seem to kind of almost forget, and I had to even Google it myself. But Roethlisberger took the Steelers to the AFC Championship in his rookie season too, and then ended up winning the Super Bowl in his second season. Granted, you can't put the two. He didn't get the ring the first time, but even the same sport, you had a guy who did almost the same thing, and I feel like that kind of gets forgotten about unless you're an absolutely diehard Steelers fan. You obviously remember the championship the beginning of next year, but I think a lot of people always get it confused that it might have been his rookie year. So you had to throw Big Ben's rookie season in there. Randy Moss had an amazing rookie season. You know, let's not forget Larry Bird, man. Larry Bird's rookie season was off the chain as well. So I think that what Jaden Daniels did is absolutely impressive. Am I going to say, I'm going to go with false as saying it's the best in any sport. And only reason I'm saying false is just because it's so subjective. You can't necessarily say that this was the best because
exactly.
Ben Roethlisberger did almost the exact same thing. Now, I do think Jaden Daniels looked just on paper, his poise, the way he held himself, the way he played, the way he was just in every game, does look like he could be one of the best rookie seasons of all time, just based off his poise and his demeanor, how he handled it, going to NFC Championship game. And honestly, in that NFC Championship game, if the Eagles obviously going on to win the Super Bowl, the Eagles defense was playing lights out. Jaden Daniels had himself actually still a pretty damn good game. So it's not far off by saying he might have had the greatest NFL rookie season. I can go maybe that route. I mean, like I was saying before, you got Randy Moss, you know, Gale Sayers. It depends on how far back you want to go. So I'm going to go false on this one, saying that it is the greatest, but it's not far off.
Yeah. I would just agree. I wouldn't say true, but I would agree. Like, it's hard to disagree. There, it's hard to disagree. Not saying that
Yeah.
he has the best. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is. It's such a subjective thing to really say, But I do think Jaden Daniels did look extremely impressive, and the future is so bright. I mean, hell, go back. Was it 2 seasons ago? C.J. Stroud. We were trying to have almost the exact same conversation about C.J. Stroud whenever he had his rookie season. I feel like this debate really is more of one of those. We're a sucker for the moment, and we're very much a bias towards what just happened. It's fresh on your minds, so that's what you're thinking of, and it's like, man, this has got to be the greatest. But I'm gonna go Fawcett as the greatest of all time of any sport. It's kind of hard to that's too tough for me to go with.
Yo, Celtics up 1 point, 18 seconds left.
Man, this is why we love playoff basketball, man.
Wow.
What an interesting time it is right now, man. Because I'll be the first one, man. If anybody has a freshly cooked humble pie out there for me, I'll be taking a scoop right now because I thought the Celtics were going to sweep them. If you go back to the regular season, Celtics couldn't even would just walk in the building and the game was pretty much over with the Knicks. These Knicks are playing a lot different than they did in the regular season, man. They look pretty damn good, but it's still not over. Actually, let me take that back. Knicks are up.
Oh, man, you're ahead of me. I'm watching the game cast.
Oh, yeah, I'm watching it right now. It is 23 seconds, 89-88. Tatum just scores, and now it's a Boston 90-89 lead, 18 seconds.
Okay, so you're behind me.
Okay, so I'm behind you then. Okay. Anyways, man, wow.
Another 20-point lead right there, man. I don't know if you want to transition already into this NBA.
Yeah, let's go for it, man. Let's go for it.
Another 20-point lead that the Boston Celtics have given up. And I know we're starting at the bottom here, so we'll change it up a little bit. But 2 games in a row where the Boston Celtics are at home, blowing a 20-point lead, man. Like, the first game, they went into the half up 20 points. They came out that second half, and they were just like I was telling you earlier, Steve, they were just like, yo, you know what? Let's just shoot 3-pointers. If we make them, we'll make them. That's great. If we don't make them, fuck it. Keep shooting 3-pointers. And no, bro, that's not the way you're supposed to go. And especially against a team like the Knicks. The Knicks are never going to give up. They could be down 40. They still won't give up. And they just tied the game right now. It looked like it's a shooting foul, the free throw line. Jalen Brunson at the free throw line. He just made the first one. He's about to make the second one. 12 seconds left with the Celtics getting the ball.
Yeah, and what's interesting with going back to that last game, like you were saying before, they had that massive lead. Talking to a few Celtics fans and stuff, just hearing out what their thoughts were and stuff. The Celtics do this all the time. They blow leads all the time. They get super complacent. And it's one of those situations, just because you can make the 3 doesn't mean you always have to do it. If you're up by 20, you don't need to continually to keep on shooting the 3. Take a couple 2s, especially if you want to continue to shoot the 3. Yeah, they were bricking them. I think they missed 45. They missed like 45 shots, something along those lines. If it's not working after maybe the 10th, how about we take a couple
game
easy
over,
shots
next
there?
one. Oh my God.
Knicks came back and won.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh my God. Jason Tatum, a horrible game, bro. Horrible.
You're hearing this live. Hearing this live right now. We are live,
Jason
and the Knicks
Tatum,
just came back and officially won.
5 for 20, 1 for 5 from the field. He had 14 rebounds, but he only had 13 points, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Knicks just like the next series that we're going to talk about in a bit, but the road team getting the 2 road wins and now going back home with the advantage. Wow,
man, I still think Boston's in it. I'm a little bit nervous just the way they've been playing the last 2 games, especially blowing those leads. But if the Knicks have a 2-0 lead going back home to New York, where they're going to want that playoff basketball, that arena is going to be rocking. Oh, man, that is going to be some electric playoff basketball to watch right there, man. Brunson going to be playing in front of that crowd. Them MVP chants are going to be screaming. I can't imagine what that's going to be like, man.
Dude, Celtics shot 10 for 40 from the 3-point line, 25%. Jesus.
Yeah, man. So what's blowing my mind is that if it's the what's that? The definition of insanity. If it doesn't work again and you keep on doing it and it doesn't work, if your shot is off, you have enough scores out there to still be able to manage to score points. Just keep it going, get the momentum going, get the flow going here, man. Like, you don't have to continually keep on shooting the 3. Like,
Derek White 3 for 11 from 3.
That's
why. Like, I wish I would have watched the game, but dude, why? I don't get it. I don't get it. Jesus.
yeah.
Celtics fans, bro. I feel kind of bad for you, but it's always F Boston. But I feel bad because it's true what Steve says, man. You guys, Celtics get too complacent with the 3-point shot, and then when they get up by a big lead, they start. Oh, you know what? We're good. We could chill. We could relax. Like California ball players. Oh, chill, nonchalant. Ooh, I'm a score. Boom, cool, whatever. But when you're doing that against a team like the New York Knicks, who are dogs and they won't quit for nothing, and they play 44 minutes of every game with some of the players, and bro, even down 40, they'll still come back. This is what's going to happen. If you don't keep your foot on their necks, they're going to come back and they're going to stab you in the back, and they're going to win game 2 on the road by 1 point.
Yeah, they took it in Boston too, and the last game there was a lot of foul call situation. This one, I mean, let's face it, man, they've blown two major leads. You can only the refs. The refs are out there for sure, but I think Boston's biggest downfall again is you live and die by the 3, and this is exactly what happens to you. And if you're not making it, you're dying. I just still can't understand that. Just to go back to it, man. Like, if you're not making them, just give it a rest and make a few shots. Let it go in, man. Get that momentum going, man. Like, stop shooting the 3. But that's the coach's philosophy, man. Live and die by it.
Yeah,
they remind me. Go ahead. No, I was just thinking back. They kind of remind me, honestly, obviously Steph Curry is like the evolution of 3, but it reminds me a lot of how Orlando Magic played whenever they went to the finals that year, where it was pretty much Dwight Howard can grab every rebound known to man. Jameer Nelson, all those guys would just legitimately just shoot threes, and Dwight Howard would get it. That only works for so long. That you can't. That formula doesn't always work, and you need to be able to be smart enough to go, okay, hey, this isn't working, and move on to something else. Maybe have just one of your guys shooting of the threes that's on fire or something. I don't know, but they're gonna have to next game maybe have another talk about this 3-point situation, because this is pretty major.
And that's what I was gonna ask you. Do you think the Celtics are a team that can win 2 games on the road back to back in the playoffs?
Yes, I do. I still do think that Boston will eventually get their stuff together. And they I'm going to go this route. I'm going to go the next game 3 is, you hate to use that term must win, but that game is a must win, because I think it's going to be extremely hard, especially losing 2 in Boston. Going back to New York, if New York sets the tone in this next game in game 3, then Boston's going to have such an uphill battle to climb, and they're going to have to rely on the 3 even more. And if it's already not working right for them, what's to say it's all going to start working when the pressure's on even more.
Yeah, no, I believe the Boston Celtics can do it, right? But honestly, I'm a New York Knicks fan this series, baby, because this is Boston, baby. I hope the Knicks sweep them. I hope they go 4-0 and go on to the next damn round and play the Indiana Pacers, most likely, or the Cleveland Cavaliers if they could come back. I know we're going to talk about that in a bit, but I hope the Knicks can make it and get past Boston, because it's always F Boston. I need to make a sound effect that just says F Boston, F Boston. I can press it like every 5 seconds.
Just a drop. All right. Well, we're gonna, like we were saying, we're trying to change the format up a little bit in this episode. Maybe change things up a little bit, keep it fresh for you. So before we were bouncing back and forth to the East and the West, the OKC and Denver game, like we were saying, we're live. It's gonna be starting here pretty soon, so we'll talk about that game last. So that we can maybe give a little bit of live updates on there. So we'll go ahead and talk about the East. We got the Indiana Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, and this has been a coming out party for Tyrese Halliburton. That he's an assassin, man. The Pacers are up 2-0 on Cleveland. Is this a surprise to you, or did you see this coming? I do remember saying when the playoffs started that the Pacers could be my dark horse in the East to watch out for, and they can score with anybody, man. They're an interesting team, man. What's your thoughts on Indiana on this one?
I'm not surprised that the Indiana Pacers are putting up fights and they're getting wins and stuff. But I am surprised that the Cleveland Cavaliers, just like the Boston Celtics, have blown a 2-game at-home lead. And now the Pacers are up 2-0 going back home. And, dude, first game, it was because the Pacers punched them in the mouth coming in the first quarter. The Cavaliers didn't know what to do. I don't know if it was just too much rest in between series because they swept the Miami Heat and they had more rest because the Indiana Pacers went to 5 games with the Milwaukee Bucks. So there was, again, more rest there. Pacers came out punching. They're a great team-oriented team. They pass the ball. They play defense together. They play good zone defense as well. Sometimes in the second half of games, they switch up to zone. And the Cavaliers look like they just weren't ready in that first game. They looked like they got punched and they never got back, right? Second game comes, the Cavaliers started doing the punching. They started doing the hitting, right? But then when it came to the second half, the Pacers woke up. They started playing team basketball. And the Cavaliers weren't playing bad, right? They were playing good. Donovan Mitchell, he had to show out because they had 3 role players that were out. Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and
Hunter.
DeAndre Hunter, yes. So they come out, and, they're still fighting in that second half. But your star player puts up 48 points, 9 assists, 4 steals. I don't know what else you want from him, right? So you think
Mitchell's a bad dude, man.
Yeah. So you think someone else got to step up, and Jared Allen did. He got 22 points, 7 from 9, 8 for 8 free throws. He had 8 free throw attempts. Donovan Mitchell had 17 for 21 free throw attempts, right? Max Strus stepped up, 23 points, 8 for 18, 5 for 12 from the 3. But the one person, and I'm not the type of guy that would put the blame on just one person because we talked about this. It's team basketball. Yep. But in this game, I blame Ty Jerome. 1 for 14 from the field. 0 from 9 from 3.
Yeah.
Only 2 points. If he literally makes one more bucket, they win this game.
Yeah. Yeah, hands down, man. Hands down for sure. For sure. It stinks too because it's almost kind of sounds like what happened with the Cavs last season too. They get to they had a hell of a season. They get to the playoffs, and then they just start losing bodies and falling apart. I'm hoping that just for as a fan, that the Garland's able to come back, Mobley's able to come back. Just so we can make these games competitive. Now saying this series hasn't been competitive, so it's been very exciting to begin with. But I'm just saying, just so that there is no what ifs. I like whenever that's what makes the NBA or just any kind of playoff series that go to a series. You kind of eliminate the what if factors in there by having the multi games. It just sucks whenever you get to this point, second round of the playoffs, and the stars are supposed to start shining. These guys are going to start making names themselves, and you start running into injuries. Donovan Mitchell and Tyrese Haliburton, I think, are really solidifying themselves as top players in the league. They just look great, man. I'm really impressed with Mitchell's playing, even though in losing efforts, given it everything he's got out there, especially game 2, hell of an effort. But it's really tough to come by whenever you got a few guys down. Just one more thing on the Celtics, just saw a random fact come up. The Celtics in 2 games have missed 75 threes. In 2 games have missed 75 threes. That is not going to win you games, man.
That sucks, bro.
That is not going to win you some games, man. All right, so you got anything else you want to talk about with this Pacers game, man? Is this one? Let's go a little bit of predictions in this one, man. Is Indiana going to call this thing a sweep, or Cleveland got one in them? What do you think, man?
No, I don't think it's going to be a sweep. And I think just like the Celtics, I think the Cavaliers can be a team that will tie up this series on the road as well, but the Pacers are a very good team at home, man. So it's going to be tough, bro. It's going to be tough. But if Cleveland could get one, obviously they still have hope. But if they get 2, I feel like the series can turn around quickly.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it just comes down to bodies. I think that if Donovan Mitchell can't do it all on his own, and if I think these series are very similar, and besides the fact that it's 2-0 in both series, I think it's just the momentum that's going into these games. They're going back home. And Indiana is hungry. Indiana's been waiting on this for a little while. I don't think Indiana's had a team this good since the Paul George era. They just look really good, man. They're well coached. I like their balance of the team. They look pretty damn good, man. So I'm really nervous for Cleveland, and it sucks because it's going to be a diminished season. I think if they get swept, that's going to be the talk, and not necessarily the great season that they did have. Coach of the year and Kenny Atkins as well. So Cleveland has definitely had one hell of a year, but I think that the main thing is going to be that they got to figure something out. Once again, this is much like the talk it was last year that whenever they're together, it works, but they got to figure something else out because this isn't working if they get swept in this one. This will be almost back-to-back years that they've made almost the exact same point and just can't continue on. Yep. All right, yeah, man, that's a bad look up there, man. So if you're not watching, right, if you're watching, then Joe Mazzulla is up at the press conference right now, and he just looks like a guy that's just seen better days right now, man. I feel bad for him because he got the answer for missing 75 threes.
2 games in a row that you blow 20-point leads at home in the playoffs.
Yeah, his demeanor right now, he just looks like he's just a shell-shocked guy of like, man, this works every game in the regular season. What the hell's going on now, man? That's got to suck about being a head coach up there, and you got to get questioned about everything that you're doing and what could they do better, make the shots, obviously. That's the answer, but you can't say that.
It's part of the game, baby. It's part of the game. It's part of the industry. It's part of the job.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the East, and we're going to head out to the West, man. And the Golden State Warriors are up 1-0 on the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. And some big news coming out of this series. Now, we have, unfortunately, the great one, man. Steph Curry is going to be out at least a week, is what the reports are coming out, after having a sprained hamstring. G-Mike, I feel like we're a broken record sometimes. We're talking about this one about if it's either Steph or nothing, man. Can Jimmy maintain what the team did? Buddy Hield stepped up. The rest of the team just they played really well. The Batman and Robin role. Alfred took over. I don't know if you heard that or not, but it's Batman, Robin, and Alfred, and Alfred is now coming in as Robin now. So can Jimmy Butler, Buddy Hield, and those boys continue on, or was this just Minnesota's what happened in this game?
Minnesota shot the ball poorly in this game. That's what it was. I mean, give the credit to the Golden State Warriors. They had their role players step up. Draymond Green, 18 points. You haven't seen him score more than 10 points in what, like the middle of the season? He went 6 for 13, 4 for 10 from 3. Learning from one of the Spash Bros right there. 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Jimmy's doing what he does. 7 for 20, 2 for 8 from 3, 4 for 6 on the free throw line. I feel like he needs to go to the free throw line more, but he had 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 20 points. So he was really controlling everything out there on the floor. Steph Curry only played 13 minutes. He had 13 points. He was
on fire, man.
He was a point each minute.
That's about what I was going to say, a point a minute.
Imagine if he stayed. But the role players did their thing. Buddy Hield, 24 points, 7 for 19, 5 for 8 from threes. Dude, he was doing what he needed to do. All you need to do is shoot the damn ball, like Jimmy said. Stop putting the ball on the ground and start dribbling, bro. Just shoot the ball. They did what they needed to do, but the Minnesota Timberwolves, bro, they shot 17% from the 3, 5 for 29. They went to the free throw line pretty good. They had 88% when it came to the free throws, but the only one that put up 20 points was Anthony Edwards. Close. Naz Reid, 19 points off the bench, but other than that, Mike Conley only 0 for 5 from the field, 0 points. Julius Randle had 18 points, but he shot 4 for 11, 0 for 3 in threes. I don't know, man. The Minnesota Timberwolves just had a bad game with shooting, and you can see it in the second quarter. Second quarter, they only scored 11 points. When you have a bad quarter like that, it's hard to come back in a game when the other team is consistently doing good. They weren't doing great, but they're doing good.
So there was an interesting thing to talk about a little bit as well in this game. You brought him up a little bit ago, Anthony Edwards. Obviously, he's the leader of the team. He actually got called out by his head coach into the game. His head coach told him basically, "You're supposed to be the heart and soul and the leader of this team," and he just started acting like it. I don't know. It was interesting, man. He also missed his first 10 shots in a row. Still ended up having a decent scoring output or whatever, but I think it's where that I hate to do that or whatever, like the maturity aspect of it and stuff, but I think that he needs to just keep his head in the game. And I think that he gets a little bit too inconsistent for me sometimes, where if he's on and he's in the zone, he's one of the best players in the league, hands down. But I feel like he gets out of the zone too quickly, too easily, and gets almost distracted in a way, and he ends up he's had a couple of these games where it's like, dude, what are you doing? How are you this good? And then just playing like just not that good or like that. I think some of these guys that they end up making bad plays as well. So like if you're off in the shot, start making other plays, man. Start maybe facilitating the ball a little bit more. Maybe someone else will get the ball rolling for you, and then you can all of a sudden start scoring a little bit more. Makes it easier for you because now you're not necessarily the focal point. But missing 10 straight shots, that's not good. That's not going to do it for your team, man.
Yeah, no, that's a poor. Obviously, you don't want to start out like that, and he knows it. He probably beat himself for it, missing 10 straight shots. But I mean, shoot, bro, and he is the best shooting 3-pointer person in the league this season. He broke the record for it this season, or he just led the league in the most 3-point shots
I think it's
made.
led league, yeah.
Yeah, I think he just led the lead. But yeah, you start off with you missed 10 missed shots, and you go 9 for 22 in the whole game. That's imagine those 10. You make 5 of those, you're in it. It was only 99-88. You're in it, you know. But shoot, man.
I found it interesting that Golden State, even without Steph going out early, was still able to be pretty dominant in this game. I mean, they had 10 and 12-point leads pretty much the entire game. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And this goes back to that trade for Jimmy Butler, man. I think that Jimmy Butler trade is really going to make dividends for the Golden State Warriors because Jimmy's obviously, you've heard the term always say a bunch, playoff Jimmy. I feel like that really is a thing, man. Jimmy plays differently when it comes to the playoffs and the intensity. And I really thought the Draymond and Jimmy was not going to work. I thought they were too much the same guy, too much of an alpha. But they've both been able to gel together and work together seamlessly, man. It's been going fantastic for the two of them. And I think Draymond likes having somebody else that isn't afraid of him or that brings out he has another dog on the team instead of having to always be the tough guy on the team. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody else that will have your back whenever you throw a punch. Someone else is coming out right behind you with that punch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what you need, bro. Those are brothers out there on the court, and if one of us gets in a fight, we all get in a fight. I better not see you over there lollygagging and be like, "Oh my God, don't be in a fight." This and that. No, you better put your hands on somebody. Like,
and damn well, Jimmy. If Draymond's getting in that, Jimmy's in there, and vice versa, man. If Draymond's in, Jimmy's in there, man. So I think that trade's going to go dividends for them. So who takes game 2?
I would say Minnesota takes game 2. I don't think, at home, I don't think Anthony Edwards is going to have that bad of a shooting night. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for 40 next game. Dante DiVincenzo, he only went 3 for 11, 1 for 7 and 3, 7 points. I think he's going to have a better game. He'll probably score 10 or more points. Jaden McDaniels, he's been inconsistent, but then consistent. He was good against the Lakers because they had nobody in the paint to cover it, and he was driving into the paint. But now they got Draymond to go up against, and even Q-Post, whatever his name is. And they have the interior defense on lock with the Golden State Warriors, so it's hard for McDaniel. So he's going to have to be putting up more shots, shooting more threes. He only went 0 for 3 and 3, so maybe he'll pick it up. But with him, it's just inconsistency. But, dude, you got to get more out of Rudy Gobert. You got to get more out of Mike Conley. Mike Conley can't be going scoreless in a playoff game.
Mike Conley's my guy, man. I love me some Mike Conley, man.
I like Mike Conley too, but you can't be going scoreless in a playoff game, man. Come on, bro. Especially if you're a starter. Like, I don't know. I think Minnesota takes game 2. I think they won't shoot the ball poorly as poorly as game 1.
I'm actually going to go with Golden State's going to come out, and I think Golden State's going to take game 2 again. I think it's going to be a lot more contested game, and I think Anthony Edwards, I think you're right, it's going to probably go for at least 40. If there's an over-under, I'd probably take the over on Jimmy, or not, sorry, Anthony Edwards, whatever the point line is that they haven't said. I'm going to probably take the over next. I think he's going to come out with something to prove, especially after head coach calling him out. But I think that's going to be a big factor in this series. That if Anthony Edwards can't show up, then I don't think they can rely on Julius Randle or Rudy Gobert to be their primary scorers. As where Golden State can still rely on Jimmy, I think, to be, as long as Jimmy can stay healthy, Jimmy can be the primary scorer. And near number 2, if Buddy Hield's coming off shooting the way he's been shooting the last few games, that's a humongous X factor. And if Draymond's still giving you some points and rebounds, I think that's huge for them. So I kind of think I'm going to stick with Golden State to take the next game, but a lot more contested game, closer. And I think you're right on Anthony Edwards will not have a showing like he did the last game, but I think he's going to come out and have a lot to prove. But it'll be one of those nights where he goes 40, 50 points and still loses.
Yeah. It's going to be a good game for sure. no matter what.
Oh, I agree. All right, so just a quick live update on what we got going on, and we can talk about this game here as well. The out in the West, as of right now, it's about midway through the first quarter, and it is a score of about 15 to 7 in favor of Oklahoma City at home. OKC, I just heard an interesting stat as well, has not lost back-to-back games since 2023. That's pretty damn impressive, honestly, man. Oklahoma City looks pretty damn good. They look like a lot different team than they were the last game. G-Mike, obviously you see the series right now, 1-0 in favor of Denver. Was this what everybody's been worried about, that Oklahoma City is too young and can't handle this, or what the hell's going on here, man? Or has Denver just got that championship pedigree and ready to go?
They have the championship pedigree for sure, right? But with this, I think the coach blew that first game, in my opinion. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. There's not going to be no easy way to go around a reigning a champ a few years back with the Denver Nuggets, and you have arguably the 3-time MVP in Nikola Jokic, and he has a good surrounding cast. Whenever they are on fire, they're a great surrounding cast, right? But OKC was playing great defense. They were playing great offense. It just came down to the last minute of the game. And if you didn't watch the game, the head coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder, who's in the interim coach, because their coach no, I'm sorry. Not the interim coach. I'm sorry. I was thinking
that's Grizzlies.
Yeah, I was thinking about the Nuggets. He's a young coach though. He's not very experienced.
Now the Nuggets coach did get fired. The Nuggets coach did get fired. Malone got fired.
Mm-hmm. I was mixing him up. The Thunder's coach, he's not very experienced. He's only been a head coach for a few years now, 2-3 years now. But when it came down to that last minute, they did 3 intentional fouls because the game was close and they didn't want Denver Nuggets to get the last shot, right? The OKC was up by like 3 points. They fouled. Nuggets made it a 1-point game. Thunder went down the court. They called a timeout. They scored. They went up 3 again. It was like 20 seconds left. Nuggets got the ball. Thunder intentionally fouled again. They go to the line. 2 more shots are made. They're up by 1 more point. They take a timeout, go down the field, go down the court. They score. Then the Nuggets use their last timeout, right? It's like 12 seconds left. And this is where I didn't agree with what happened. 12 seconds left. They use their last timeout. They inbound the ball, and the Thunder intentionally foul again. If the opposing team already has 12 seconds left on the clock and they've already used their last timeouts and they're down by 3 points, why would you intentionally foul? I don't understand. Why would you do that? Let them inbound the ball. 12 seconds left. They literally have to go down the court. They have to go down the court. That's like 4 seconds. They have to get a good shot off. It's going to take them another 3 seconds to try to get a good shot off. And even then, you have to trust that your defense, which has been the top 5 defense in the league for the last 2 years, this past year has been top 2 for most of the year. You don't rely and trust in your defense for them to put a hand up, and then even if they make the shot, you probably still have 2 seconds left to go down the court and throw a Hail Mary. If not, you're going to OT. You go to OT, you have a younger, faster, well-endorenced in the players to get you to the promised land of winning this game. But no, you intentionally...
I think a deeper bench, too.
Yes. You intentionally foul, right? They go down the court. They make 2 shots. You get the ball. Go down the court. They foul Chet Holmgren. Young mentality comes to mind here. He misses both freaking free throws. He misses both free throws. They get the rebound. Russell Westbrook going down the court sees Aaron Gordon wide open because Russell Westbrook is a great playmaker. Aaron Gordon gets the ball. He's a damn champion. He's hit another buzzer beater in the playoffs already, and he hits this one. He goes up by 1 point. You guys don't have another timeout, and you have 1 second left to get a shot off.
In the story.
I do not understand why you intentionally fouled after they wasted their timeouts. When they had their timeouts, I understand it. You want them to waste the timeouts. You don't want them to have the time saved. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want the time to run out. But once they wasted them, bro, you got to let it play. You got to trust in your defense.
I think that sometimes we're like, to me, that sounds almost like one of those analytic moves that, on paper, it probably makes more sense for them to be able to limit the amount of shots, stuff like that. So you foul them and you can only make 2-point shots at this point in time and stuff. But I agree with you, man. Sometimes you have to just let the guys go out there and play and do what they're supposed to be doing. And Oklahoma City has been one of the best, like you were saying, defensive teams in the league, if not the last couple seasons. You got an MVP caliber player who does have good defense. You got a bunch of just role players that are really good, and you hate to see it go down like that for Oklahoma City. That's how they're going to do it, is trying this analytic stuff to me and try and limit what they're going to be able to do. And once again, it just comes back to bite them in the ass for that. Especially Aaron Gordon's been on fire too, man. He's been playing lights out, man. How about that alley-oop he caught off of Jokic? Whether or not was that an alley-oop or was that just a miss, or what do you think that was? You know what I'm talking about? The hook shot that Jokic basically throws.
I think that was a miss.
I think it was intentional. I think he was actually trying to throw that one, but man, AG's been playing out of his mind lately, man. And ever since he's actually got into Denver, man, I think that Aaron Gordon has played like a completely different guy. His just defense paralysis. He's just looked a lot more comfortable than he's ever looked. And it helps also whenever you're the third, maybe fourth guy on the team, and you can still have all that athleticism. It helps out a lot instead of trying to be the number one guy whenever you're just not built to be a number one guy. But I'm really happy for Aaron Gordon to be able to make that shot, to be able to live down in history like that. That's one of those moments that we're going to be, telling people about 5 years now. Remember that AG 3-pointer that he made for them to go up to win? So it's going to be definitely interesting. As of right now, it looks like the Oklahoma City are coming out guns blazing right now. It's 20-9 as a live update in this series right now, and it just looks like one of those games where Oklahoma City just has it clicking and they're on fire on all cylinders. We said the same thing about Boston twice, and things happen. Makes the playoffs a lot of fun, man. I think just looking at this game here, you can't, when we're watching this live, I'm going to go. I think that Oklahoma City will be able to probably take this game and tie up the series. Just going off the vibe that I'm seeing out there right now, Oklahoma City looks like they're just ready to come out and play tonight and prove a point. You got any thoughts to close out this one?
Just that OKC's not Boston. OKC will keep their foot on their necks and keep the gas to the pedal. They will not let off the gas. So I can see, yes, they're very built differently. They do not want to let anybody get back into games at all because they can see what could happen, how it could happen. And I think that if they keep going at it, not saying that they will kill Denver, because Denver, like we said, they're a championship caliber team. They know how to win. They know how to pick spots and know what to do on the court. Sometimes OKC doesn't have that because they're inexperienced, but OKC's not going to let the foot off the gas. Now, will they mess up? Maybe create some turnovers in the second half and stuff like that? Yeah, because the Denver Nuggets are that type of team that they're very strategic and they're smart. But I would say OKC probably win this game by maybe 10 or 12.
Yeah, that's just the vibe I'm looking at it too. Obviously, we're still in the first quarter as we're going live here, but just going off the vibe and the body language out here, it just looks like Oklahoma City has something to prove this game, that they deserve to be the record that they have and where they are. And it's interesting too because this series is definitely one of those veterans versus young players, and the emerging players versus the players that's already been there, done that. So it's interesting to see, man. SGA is on the rise, and Jokic is still just never left anywhere, man. Jokic is still just an awesome player, so you can't count him out. I think this series is probably going to be a 6 or 7 game series, though. I just feel like that Denver's not going to give up.
Yeah, no, for sure they won't. And it's funny how earlier you brought up how we love to live in the moment, whatever, when we were doing the Jaden Daniels topic. I saw a post today that someone put, is OKC the most overrated number 1 seed? I started laughing. I'm just like, bro, people just don't know how to appreciate anything. They don't know how to appreciate it.
Right. Yeah, it was a last second 3-point shot, one of the coolest shots you'll ever see. But now Oklahoma City's overrated. Forget about the regular season, them dominating, them just sweeping a team. They're overrated. They're garbage. Like, come on, man. Now it's kind of funny though too because people are trying to jump. People aren't giving up on Boston, who's blown both of the blown leads in 2 straight games, and people are just like, we just did it a couple minutes ago. I still think Boston will come back, but as soon as Oklahoma City, all of a sudden they lose by a 3-point shot on an amazing shot. Now everybody's like, oh, they're already done because they have young players. I think it's just interesting how the narratives get played out here, man.
Yeah.
Out of the 2, all right. Here's a fun one for you then. Out of the 2. Right now, who are you more concerned about as the top seeds here going in there? Something like that, Boston or Oklahoma City in the series?
Boston, because they're down 0-2. Oklahoma, they're still only down 0-1, right? But
I would say Boston just because their style of play, it hasn't worked these first 2 games. Now, granted, it
has worked. It has worked, but you said, they get complacent. They're just we won the first quarter by 20. The game's over. No, bro. Right. No. There's 2 halves. You got to win both halves.
100%. All right, so we're gonna have we're gonna actually start off with 2 debates that we got here from you. We searched, like we were saying before, we searched the internet, found some fun topics out there. We've been talking about basketball for the last few minutes. We're gonna go ahead and keep our theme with the basketball theme going here. This one's kind of fun, and I'll be interested to see what your thoughts are on this one. If you're watching the live, or if you're not watching live, excuse me. We have a Mount Rushmore. That seems like that's been a big thing coming up lately, of Mount Rushmores of sports here. But we're going to do one right now. If the NBA had a Mount Rushmore for current players, who deserves to be the 4th spot along Bron, Curry, and KD? I think these guys, all 3 of those guys, deserve to be up there, so I don't think there's much debating that one. The debate's going to be on the number 4. Now, I do want to ask you a question on this one because there isn't really a thing, and we can make it up as we go because that's what just makes these things fun. Now, how far back are we going with this, and how current? Like, see what I'm saying? Is it have to be because LeBron's been?
Let's do it from 2003 when LeBron got drafted.
Okay, so from 2003 till now. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So I was trying to figure out how far do we go back? What do we? Is it LeBron's rookie year and forward? Because they all drafted around about the same year, give or take 1 or 2 years, but they were all round about each other in here.
Yeah, so, but remember, it says current players.
Correct. Yes. Yeah, I'm fine with that. My issue I'm having with 2 guys, and I'm not sure what I want to put up, and one I feel like it might be too early for them to go up. So I'm gonna have you go first, though.
This one was really tough for me, man. I went through the NBA list from. The reason why I said 2003 because I went from 2003 to this current year, and there was a lot of players that I wanted to put up, but they weren't current players. There was a lot of players I wanted to put up, but they've only been in the league for 5 years, so I don't think that puts them up there in a Mount Rushmore. I think it's too early for them, right? But I came down to the decision that I had to put Kawhi Leonard because he won 2 championships with 2 different teams. The second championship was his first year with that team and his only year with that team. So imagine the chemistry that needs to be made, the coaching adaptiveness that needs to be handled by the player because you're having a different coach. The city, living in a different city, living in a different country. Because remember, Toronto's not in the United States and it's cold as hell over there, boy. Cold as hell. And I've heard on several podcasts with Toronto players that the TSA stuff from going from US to Canada is a pain in the butt sometimes. So, that could be mentally draining as well, right? But even then with the Clippers, he was doing work with the Clippers when he's healthy. Yes, he's been on the injury-prone side after that whole ankle bust against the Golden State Warriors when he was with the San Antonio Spurs. That started a whole trend of injury proneness for him. But when he's out there on the court, he's doing work. And you saw it these playoffs. He killed that game 7. He had 23 points. Harden is the one that choked, and the rest of the players too. If not, they would be right now playing against OKC. But he did his thing, and I think since he's been in the league, he's been Defensive Player of the Year. He's been 2-time champ. He's been to the playoffs multiple years. More years than he's not been in there, and he's a dog on offense and defense, and I don't think there's 5 players that can stop Kawhi. Like covering Kawhi, I don't think there's 5 players currently that can stop him.
That's a very interesting pick to go up there. I wasn't honestly, that wasn't even crossing my mind at all of Kawhi, but I totally understand your point. I think you brought us some valid points on that one. I didn't think about that one, so that's a good one. Do you have a runner up you want to throw in there too? Was there who was like your number 2 then maybe?
I was thinking James Harden. I was thinking like if I go big men as well, I was thinking Anthony Davis. Maybe another point guard. I was thinking CP3. But he hasn't won a chip, but he's done so much for the league and winning as well. When it comes to shooting guards, James Harden, maybe Kyrie. When it comes to forwards, I was thinking Kawhi, and then I was thinking obviously Kevin Durant's up there. Another forward, maybe. Dude, honestly, right now at the top of my head, I don't know, but it was just like those players I was actually thinking about because, like I said, most of the players I was thinking about are not current players, and then the other players, I feel like it's too soon for them. It's just like they're too young for me, in a sense.
So I'm going to go with it was a tough decision here. And that's kind of what I was trying to figure out how far we're going back, how well we're going with that or something, because I feel like the 2 guys that I was going to put up here are relative in the aspect of they haven't been in the league for forever, but just they've been so dominant. So my 2 guys were going to be Giannis and Jokic. And I know a lot of people will have maybe some flack with Jokic, but that's who I would put up here is Jokic. Jokic obviously has the 2-time MVP. He's an NBA champion. He's arguably one of the greatest players of all time at this point in time in his career. I think that his game is so unique. He can do so many different things on the court, but I think it's just his appearance that makes him look like he's, a dad out there, the dad bod god they call him, obviously, So I think that if he was chiseled up like LeBron and all this other stuff, and he played the way he played, people are like, oh my God, there would be no doubt about it. But he's different. He's different than all these other guys. And I think that his numbers, and he's arguably one of the greatest big man passers. He can shoot the 3. He can literally do anything and everything on the court. He's basically a point guard in a center's body. So I think I would have to put Jokic up there, in which I know he is relatively new in the league, but he's not brand new in the league, if you know what I mean. So
yeah,
mine would be Jokic, and I think you can obviously make a case for Giannis being up there as well. Giannis has been one of the most dominant players in the last decade or so since he came in the league and just transformed his body and gotten more muscular. He's just been a force to reckon with, and he does have the chip to back his name. So my 2 guys I would have put in that spot, to me, just going off of just how good they've been in the last few years, Giannis and Jokic, man. But I would put Jokic in my spot here, man.
I think you hit it on the head with Jokic. I think he's the correct answer here, right? I think he's the correct. I just looked at more of how long a person has been in the league, so that's why I went with Kawhi. But Jokic, bro, he's the best player. He's been the best player the last 4 years, in my opinion. And
I agree.
He's the best player right now. I just think that Shea deserves the MVP, because of what he did and where his team is at. But even then, Jokic is the best player. Like, there's no doubt.
Yeah, I think Jokic is going to turn into like that LeBron fatigue that LeBron can arguably be in the MVP category race every year that he was in the league, but people just get fatigued and you're going to see something different. So you'll find little nitpicking things for you to find. And I think Jokic is going to be the same way, that his numbers and everything that he does on the court will put him in MVP categories, but eventually you just get kind of tired of having the same guys that are in the category. So you might just get a little fatigue on it,
which is whack. But
it sucks. It sucks, but I think people that really watch NBA and stuff will appreciate his game. And he's just an interesting guy too. Like, his interviews crack me up. Like, he's like the furthest from actually like a NBA basketball player. They ask him like, what do you want to do when you're done the offseason? I just want to go ride my horses. Like, he's just not the typical guy.
Imagine another guy, his big ass on a horse.
Right. It's wild to me, man. It's wild to me. So, as just a recap here, it's just so we can recap it if you're listening to it and you maybe or might have caught it tail end here. For the audio, it is the Mount Rushmore of since LeBron's era. So it is LeBron, KD, Durant, and my pick is going to be Jokic.
My pick is going to be Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard, man. That is definitely an interesting pick, man. Yeah, I think that's an interesting pick, and I guarantee there were going to be a lot of people that probably weren't thinking about it, but after you explained it a little bit more, maybe I actually got some considerations in there. So I think that was a pretty interesting pick, man. All right, so we got one more.
I think Jokic is the correct answer. Sure.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think that there's a few guys that you could absolutely throw in there. We could change this up sometime too, and go by decades or something as well. So plenty of things we can do with that and have more fun with it. But please, guys out there, like we've been telling you guys for a while, the show is all about fans and interactions and everything like that. And we will definitely get back to you if you're able to comment on the show or even after the show whenever we're, in post-production and everything like that. So we definitely look forward to hearing it. We have one more fun debate that we wanted to get into it because everybody loves football. And like we were saying before, we are going to be having a few more debates this episode. So this one's going to be kind of fun too. So this one, if you are listening at home, this one has a graphic up. It is which team has the best chance to go from worst to first and eat in their division this season. It is the Cleveland Browns, the Chicago Bears, Tennessee Titans, Las Vegas Raiders, New Orleans Saints, San Francisco 49ers, New York Giants, and the New England Patriots. I thought this one was a pretty fun debate. It gets people back into the football spirit. We just had the draft pass by. Football is going to be in a little bit of a lull in the next few weeks. We got training camp coming around the corner, so we always want to talk about football. So I thought this was a fun one to do. I want you, G Mike, to go ahead and go first. We are just picking out of this group, correct? Just who we think has the best chance, right? It's not per division, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Just want to make sure. I know my pick. You ready for yours?
Wait, out of this group, who would have the best season, or out of this group, who has the best chance in their division to go from worst to first?
Yeah. So out of this group of teams here, whichever team has the best chance to actually go from being last place to first place in their division.
None.
Interesting.
None.
Okay.
None to me, bro. I mean, just to break it down quick, the Browns. They have a crazy tough division. Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, even though their situation is funky. Chicago Bears, you got Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings. That's going to be tough. Tennessee Titans, you got the Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts. I feel like they're all fighting there. And Tennessee, just got their quarterback, so they need to build that chemistry. The Raiders, they got Patrick Mahomes in front of them. They got the Denver Broncos who's been coming up. The Saints. I mean, the Atlanta Falcons are there. They're still doing what it does, so it's kind of iffy there. I think I might go with the Saints here, right? But just to explain the other ones, the Niners, they got the Seattle Seahawks, the Arizona Cardinals, and then which I think the best is going to be the Los Angeles Rams. I think they're going to win that division, in my opinion. When it comes to the Giants, you got the Dallas Cowboys in there. You got the Commanders in there. You got the Eagles in there, man. And all those teams are great. The Giants just don't have what it takes when it comes to the quarterback room. And then the Patriots, they got the Buffalo Bills in front of them. And even the Miami Dolphins, they've been trying to win this division for a little while. While the Patriots they've been in rebuild mode, and they're still in rebuild mode. So I think they all don't have a chance. I mean, they have a chance, like a 1% chance for sure. But do I see any of these teams winning their division, like going first place? Negative. My answer would be it's either between the Saints and the Niners, and I'm going to pick the Niners because they have the better quarterback. The Saints, they don't know what they're doing at quarterback. I think they're going to call me tomorrow to try to go out there and see what's up. But, dude, they have nothing at quarterback, so I think I got to go the Niners here.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears, actually. I've been pretty high on the Chicago Bears in this offseason. I like what they got. I think they have a very interesting team. Ben Johnson, I think, is going to come in. I think Caleb Williams has a competent coach finally as an offensive coach to help him along, and I think he's going to make a lot of strides. They started shoring up the line. They were able to get some wide receivers out there, man. They got Luther Burden in the draft. They got, obviously, DJ Moore. They picked up Colson Loveland. So they got a great offensive there. Now, if DeAndre Swift is capable, which he showed some flashes whenever he was in Philadelphia sometimes, of being able to do it. And I think that line, if that line can hold its own, the Chicago Bears defense is definitely always going to come to play. So I think that the Chicago Bears have a chance, I think, to actually pull this one off. Green Bay is still a great team. Obviously, Detroit is still the cream of the crop. And Minnesota, after last season, it's hard to pick against them. But I like what Chicago Bears did, and I think it's going to be a very competitive division. A lot of fun to watch. And I think the Bears went from, I think they were 29th or 28th in scoring last year, and I do not see that happening at all. I think Caleb Williams is going to have a major improvement, and it comes from the coaching staff. I think that they brought in the right guys, and it helps whenever you start addressing what the problem was, and that was mainly that they had he was on his back too much. And I think that's going to be one of the problems for the Patriots. The Patriots need to fix that line some more, and they don't have much offense. The Giants, I think, did have a very good draft, but they're just not ready to do it yet. We'll see what Jackson Dart can do, if he's going to come in midseason or if Russell Wilson's going to have a resurgence. The Niners are definitely a very interesting team, and the Niners, can never count them out. They're always projected to get about 10 wins almost pretty much every year. It really just comes down. Their offense is not going to be the same as it's been all year. They did re-sign Kittle. If CMC's able to have a healthy year, you're always going to get, what you're going to get from him. He's one of the best. I love Juwan Jennings. I think he's pretty good. And it's going to be cool to see what Ricky Pearsall can do. The Saints, I think they had the worst draft in the NFL. I think the Saints are going to stay exactly where they are in the bottom of that division. I think that they are going nowhere at this point. Their defense is really good, but their offense just looks abysmal. I think that they made the wrong move at quarterback. And you can say what you want about Shedeur, but they could have drafted, I think, Shedeur and whatever round they could have. Even if they didn't want to pick him right in the first, they had a third round. They had opportunities to grab him, and they just overpassed on him and took a Tyler Shook, I believe his name is. The Raiders, I think, are going to be a fun team, though. I don't think that they're ready because that division is very difficult, a lot like the Packers. Or, excuse me, not the Packers, the Bears. I think that they've improved a lot. I love getting Ashton Genty. You got Brock Bowers, obviously, coming to his own. Jacoby Myers is still there. He's still a really good player. I love bringing in Geno Smith. Chip Kelly's going to be there. It's a whole new regiment, man. You still got, what's his name, Max Crosby. You brought the new coach in to bring some new life in, and Pete Carroll. So I think the Raiders are going to be one of the more fun teams to watch. I just don't know if they're ready to do it yet. And you also got Brady up in the booth, in the owner's box and in the booth. So I think that's going to help them out a lot. Tennessee, I think you nailed it. They're just not. They just got Cam Ward. We'll see how that works out. They have a lot of work to do, and there's that division is going to be one of those divisions. I think that the winner is going to probably have a just over 500 record. I don't think that anybody's going to be really blowing the doors open in the AFC in that division. Unfortunately, that is my division. In Cleveland, it's just Cleveland. They're a mess no matter however you look at it. So I think out of here, I would say that the Niners and the Bears have the best chance at this happening. But I really like what the Bears did the offseason, man. So I'm pretty high on the Bears actually competing for that division, man. Just as a recap, man, who are you taking in this one?
I gotta take the Niners. I think they'll probably, if anybody in this group will go from worst to first, I think it'll be the Niners. But just to put it out there, I don't think any of these teams are gonna finish first in their division.
And I'm going to take the Chicago Bears because I love everything they've done in the offseason and signing the players they've been able to sign, getting the new line, and getting that the new head coach in Ben Johnson. So I give me Chicago Bears as the best chance in this package of people to get from worst to first, from teams get the worst to first. Yep. Man, I don't know about you, my man, but we'll give one more update. And as it stands right now, it's 45-23 in favor of Oklahoma City, about a quarter of the way through the second quarter. Oklahoma City's looking pretty good, so I think they're going to cruise onto a pretty big victory, and they're going to look at. This was a statement win for them. I think they had to come out and prove the fact of we're not done and we're not scared of anything right now. We made a couple mistakes and we're ready to go, and we're one of the top teams in the league for a reason. So that I think on our end is going to wrap it up. Mr. G Mike, do you have anything for the people before we head out tonight, my man?
Yes, sir, guys. If you can please like, subscribe. Share the show with your family and friends. Leave some comments in the videos that we post on YouTube, the shorts, or on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on IG. It will be greatly appreciated. We love the love and support that you guys give us. If you guys want to come on the show, just write in the comments. We'll put your comments up on the screen. Or if you want to ask us some questions, we'll answer your questions. Put the questions up on the screen. Or if you just want to join in the debates or the conversations with us, we'll put you up on the live feed as well. This show is for the fans, from the fans. So we want to include everybody, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, definitely. Well said, man. We really appreciate it, man. We want to, like we were saying before, man. We want to give a shout out to Varsity as well for they just gave us some numbers, and you guys been really been following us on there. So we really appreciate that too. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube as well, so we can continue our trend of moving up and. Hit the bells, man. The bells are the easiest way to find out when we have stuff going on. It's I know everybody's got busy lives, and you sometimes forget to check in on your shows. You hit that bell on any of the socials, Spotify, any of those. iHeart, we're on iHeart too, like we were saying before. Just hit those, and they'll let you know that we are going live. And we really appreciate everything you got going on. I don't know if Mr. G Mike's going to make it with us on Saturday, but it'll probably be me and Mr. BC. We have some fun stuff coming up on Saturday morning, so we'll be there, and we will be up live and enjoying ourselves. For me, I am Stevie B, Views from the Stands, Mr. G Mike, and we are out.
Peace.